of the index. And when I say the index here, I'm talking about the stocks 600. So think about that. 10 or 11 companies are a quarter of the value now of the 600 biggest companies in Europe. They're the ones that are really driving the index. They're very global. They have strong cash flow generation, high profit margins. They're reinvesting at a high rate. They're good compounders, and these should be, I think, among the global growth leaders that investors should be thinking about, among other great US and other companies.
Peter, now for the appearance fee. The book plug. Let's do it. Any happy returns, structural changes and super cycles in markets. Peter, what do we need to know?
Well, my last book, which I wrote 3 years ago, Any Happy Returns, was all about cycles, what drives cycles and turning points in markets. This is really about long-term structural trends within which those cycles evolve. And we've had a very, very positive secular trend in the last 30 years, driven by disinflation, globalization, liberalization of financial markets, lower global risk premium, and so on. We are moving into a more challenging period where the cost of capital is higher, we're getting more regionalization, less globalization, higher input costs, labor and energy, that means lower margins, so lower returns. But it's also very much focused, this book, on the two major developments which are going to shape the next decade, despite those headwinds. And that is the combined effect of AI on the one hand and decarbonization on the other. And while both of these face significant challenges, they're going to provide significant opportunities for investors as well.
Looking forward to a copy arriving on my desk sometime soon. Peter, thank you. Peter, it's good to hear
Thank you.
you. It's good to see you. Thank you.
ผมรีบ3 ครั้งนะ
Goldman Sachs. Bramo wants to weigh in. What are we buying when we buy Europe?
Well, bye-bye, no?
If you look at LVMH, it was just surpassed by Novo Nordisk as the biggest one. I mean, it just where you put those two together. Can I just say one other thing?
Sure.
In the U.S., we have the FANG. In Europe, move over FANG. We've got the granolas. You know, it's sort of, you know, that's the new acronym.
It's a Goldman acronym. It doesn't sound exciting enough,
It's not
does
as
it?
catchy.
You know,
FANG, FanMag,
granola
granola.
just sounds vanilla and slightly boring.
Or just breakfasts, you know, that you basically get if you don't want to cook.
Precisely that, with some
Thank
yogurt,
you.
which makes you feel like you're being slightly creative.